Welcome to Allie's Attic Show, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a gentleman that's been on my show before when I first started, guys. God, over a year ago. He is an independent recording artist, songwriter, and producer, mainly focused on R&B and pop music, and he recorded his first song when he was 9. He's gorgeous, he's talented, I absolutely adore him. Please welcome Ian Guerin. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Ali. How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're back. I'm so happy you're doing so well. Never mind being back. I'm just excited. I was looking forward to this interview. I kept talking to people about it. I actually shared one of your songs with one of my best friends because I'm like, oh my God, you got to listen to this. It's just, I love your music. So what's been happening since let's talk a little bit about, so your debut, because we talked about this in the first interview, your debut album, Mad Sexy, was released August 29th of 2012. Yes. And it spanned 4 singles, Bubblegum, I Heart, Mad Sexy, New VIP. And then the 2 music videos, I Heart and Mad Sexy. Now, everybody make sure you subscribe to Ian's Vivo account because the songs, the videos are amazing. Now, you've done so much, Ian. Like I can't even. I'll bring us up to when we talked last. So in 2014, you opened your Vivo channel, Ian Guerin Vivo, and you crossed over from pop to R&B. Now, but the Pop This Jam, a hip hop version, the collaboration between you and Australian producer Fat Records was released on October 21st, 2014, via an alternate YouTube channel called Ian Guerin Off Vivo channel.
Yes. Now, that's like my regular channel.
Okay, perfect. Now, Pop This Jam, the hip-hop version, won a Beat 100 UK Silver Song Award for Well-Written Original Song and Press Award upon release.
Yes.
There's lots here, guys. On December 12th, it made its American radio debut on WGTSDB's The Good Times Show. Due to its success, it also spanned a remix called Jam Forever. Yes. Yeah, I'm just about up to where we were. On February 2015, Pop This Jam, the hip-hop version, topped the Beat 100 UK World Chart 1 week, the R&B hip-hop chart 3 weeks, and the original song charts 1 week. Yes. So then on June 22nd, the release of your new single, Cry, was followed by overwhelming sales success in the USA. It debuted near the top 40 of the R&B Soul New Releases iTunes charts in the USA. Number 44 it was, right?
Yes.
That is crazy. According to theartofmix.com and itopchart.com, and also stellar reviews because of the music video. Now, it peaked at number 31 on the R&B Soul New Release chart and on iTunes USA and has been featured as Track of the Week on Musician Weekly and Best Damn Music. I like that. I like that name. It has also opened magazine feature opportunities for you on the R&B and Rap Digital Mag and Artist Track? How do you say that? Artist Track magazine, among others. Okay, so now it also went on Cry. I'm talking about Cry still. It went on to win 2 Beat 100 UK awards and a promotional medal. You got the A&R Silver Song Award, awarded to well-written original songs. The A&R Silver Video Award, awarded to high-quality original videos with good production values. Now, it also went on to top the Sing Rush USA R&B charts for the week ending July 10th, 2015, and the R&B Beat 100 chart on top 40 charts in the UK. Cry also performed well, peaking at number 7 on the Beat 100 World chart and at number 5 on its original song chart.
That's correct.
Good Lord. Now, Cry made its American radio debut on Tuesday, July 21st, I can't talk anymore, 2015, on WGT SDB, the Good Times Show, and was later served to AC, R&B, and R&B soul stations nationwide and the United Kingdom. Now,
yes, that's correct.
If that wasn't enough, December 15th, 2015, Cry won Best R&B Soul Song at the I can never say this word. Academia
Academia?
Academia Music Awards in the USA.
Yes.
You're like, holy crow, Ian. Okay, and then on May 25th, 2018, you released new songs from your upcoming album called A Different Affair. And that's what we're going to talk about now. I think
Yes.
we're up to date now, right?
Yep. The album is actually called Irreplaceable.
Oh, Irreplaceable. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and the new song is A Different Affair.
Okay, I got it. Oh, it says upcoming album called, check your bio, hun. It says, oh no, released a new song from his upcoming album called A Different Affair. There we go. Okay, no, I'll check your bio. Never mind. Okay, so it's called Irreplaceable, and it's due late this summer, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I mean I could go on and on and on and on and on and on about you. I've shared your music with some of my close friends. I'm putting you, now that I know that you're on Spotify, you're going to be on my playlist because I absolutely love your sound. And like
Thank
I
you
was
so
telling
much.
you before the interview, like we're going to talk about all the new songs and everything. But what I was saying before the interview is, I mean, it's funny that one of your influences is Michael Jackson and
Yes.
Mariah Carey and Prince, who I absolutely love, and I'm still so upset that he's no longer here, and Tony Bennett. Like you can hear all of that, but you can really hear the Michael Jackson. And I said it's like a Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake fusion, and that's like Ian, especially on one of the songs. It's just amazing. You're so talented. Now,
Thank
let's talk about Irreplaceable. Now that I've got the name right.
you.
How is it going, and like how long has it been in the works?
um, the record has been in the works since about 2015, I guess. The beginning of 2015, actually, when we started working on Cry, we did that single, not planning an album. And when we finished doing Cry, we liked the sound so much that we said, well, maybe this is the way to go with a new album. And we started working on that based on the sound of Cry. And so it's been in the work for like 3 years now, and but it's been ready now for like a year.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well, it's going to do very well. If this doesn't get you, like, I don't know, do you want to be signed, Ian, or do you like being independent?
I used to want to be signed. Like when I first started back in 2010, that was like the main point. I wanted to have like a major deal or something like that. But as social media has uh, evolutionized, and as like the platforms have gotten like broader, I don't think that it's now like a main goal for me to be
Okay.
signed to a major label as of like a 360 deal, but instead like for a distribution deal, because what they got to back you up is literally irreplaceable right now.
Yeah.
Like, even though there's all these platforms and all the social media and all the ways that you can go independently and make it, like so many artists that have that, like Lord and Future and all of those guys, Chance the Rapper, who made it like independently, and
Yeah.
even Prince before he died,
Yeah.
like he was giving independent music a shot, like with the MPG records.
Hmm.
But for the distribution, I'd love a deal like, but it's not like my point to have like a deal where there's creative control
Hmm.
of my things, even if it's in a small percentage. And I don't want executives to hear this and think that, hey, no, here, let's not call him because he doesn't want this kind of deal. Well, they can call me anyways, of course. Hey,
They can always talk to you. They can always talk to you.
yes,
you know what? It's so funny because I mean, I talk to mostly independent musicians. Every now and then I have, musicians that are signed. And
yeah,
I've had people tell me that, big artists in the industry have told them, don't sign, stay independent. And it is true with social media the way it is. I mean, Chance the Rapper won a music award for the love of God,
yeah,
like just
yeah,
being independent, and it's all thanks to social media. And I mean, yeah, it propels you. So, and I mean, I like that you talked about creative independence because they do kind of take that away when you sign.
Yes.
And the big mistake I think they're making is they want everybody to sound the same. And they shouldn't. They should sound like when you hear an artist, you should know right away who that artist is. And
Exactly.
some of them I have to kind of look because I'm like, oh, is that still, blah, 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 or is that still, and it gets boring and you want to hear something new. And that's why I love doing what I do, because I get to discover all this music that I never would have discovered. But I love that even though I say that you sound like Michael Jackson and you sound like Justin Timberlake, you sound like you.
Thank you.
Now, I also like what you said about irreplaceable. You said it's called that because had the songs been sung by anybody else, the message in those same words would have come across in a different way because they would have been interpreted. See, here I go. I can't talk again. With someone else's personal context. And I love, because you wrote them, right?
Yes.
So, and you knew the meaning behind them. And that's what you're talking about when it would be somebody else's, perception of that song. You wanted it to be your perception because you wrote the songs.
Yes.
Now, upon the release, you received rave reviews. Roger Jansen from Jansen's Jam stated, "The third taster of his forthcoming sophomore album is driven by a retro disco beat and 70s styles violins with plucky guitars, vibrant hand claps, and an infectious hook teasing the senses. His luscious, soul-dripping R&B vocals add a more contemporary layer to the vintage vibe of the instrumentation. It's an exhilarating, polished, and zesty disco soul tune, which sounds ear-poppingly refreshing. His sound is R&B soul laced with jazz and blues touches." That is like high praise. And I love when people write about music because the words they use kind of brings it to life. Like, did you know that it's like it's there in front of you? And he's true. And I want to talk, when we talk about one of your songs, I'm going to mention this 70s vibe. Now, A Different Affair isn't considered your formal single. It's being promoted as such and sent to radio stations in various countries, and accompanying video has not been announced yet. Now we'll talk about so you've got a video out, but it's not released yet.
Yeah, that's for the formal single. This was just like a buzz single to like reheat things up because it's been such a long time between the second single, which was Free Time. That was the one that we discussed in the prior interview.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was used as sort of a buzz single, but people now are liking it so much and they're picking it up in so many places that we're considering just releasing it as a single.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. Now, before we get to, because you've sent me, nobody else has seen this. Well, I'm sure a couple of your friends have seen it, but you sent me a link to a video that's not released yet.
Yep.
And a song that's not released yet. So I'm going to let you talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about the song. So what is that? Okay. Can you talk about that or not yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Not yet. You absolutely can.
Okay. So it's called Roll the Dice.
Yes.
Now, what is number one? Okay, the video is amazing. She's gorgeous, and it looked cold. It looked really cold when she went swimming. I'm just saying, but I guess it was warm. I don't know where it was filmed. I would have loved to see way more of you, and I would have loved to see you dancing because I know you dance as well.
Thank you.
So just that's the only. But I love the song. I love the song. So talk about the song.
The song "Roll the Dice" is a very funny story. As I said before, the album I called it Irreplaceable and wanted to sing it myself because I had a couple of tracks that I thought maybe we could sell this one, or this would fit better in another artist's voice. I thought about Mariah. I thought about Charlie Wilson. I thought about a few people that I had songs for, but the main thing was that they're very, very, very personal stories. So I don't think that in this particular set of songs, artists can relate as much because of the words. They're like, how to say it? Like they're very general in terms of people relating to them because I think everybody's been there. When you hear the stories, most things have happened like to most of us, but the way they're told, it's different. So for Roll the Dice, the particular story is that I wanted to do a song that I was I was dating this girl, and then I wasn't. Then we stopped dating, and she stopped talking to me like for 3 years. And then all of a sudden, she came back and started talking to me again. So when that happened, I wrote that. I was writing the album, and when that happened, I wrote that song like to just like let her know what had happened in those 3 years. And that's like the main context of the song. Like I'm talking about somebody else,
Uh-huh.
but I'm telling her the story of what happened with that somebody else in those 3 years that she wasn't there. And one of the words that people are going to be more hyped. I don't know if positively or negatively. Is one of the lines that says, "Remember that girl I dated, they dated, or whatever that was that they dated. Her sister was 10 times better than she." And the song is based on that the relationship that I was in before she returned. Um, I remember that I had to break it up because I liked her sister. Once I met her, I liked the sister better,
Oh my.
and I said, "Whoa, this isn't gonna work because I'm just having feelings for your sister. So instead of making a big deal out of it, we'll just leave it at that." And I just walked away. And
Oh.
so that's like the main foundation of it. And this is a funny story because when I wrote that line in the demo, I thought, well, like I'll replace it later. I'll just do it for the melody, and I'll come back and write something friendly, right?
Yeah.
Like something more general and something that fits people better. And then what happened was I went to bed, and when I woke up, Prince had died.
Oh.
And I had a lot of texts in my phone that he had died, and I was very sad. I didn't go back to the studio that day. And when I returned and saw that line, I figured, hey, Prince would have stayed. Prince would have left it because it was his story and it was what he was feeling for real.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have changed it. He would have stuck his ground and just left it there. So I left it there and had to deal with it. And then the song, as it goes, as it transitions, it says that, as you can hear in the hook, it says that, and now that you have blocked me, I'll roll the dice, right? Like I'll take this chance. And that was basically it. That I wanted her to know that I was ready for her 3 years after, and that's like the main thing with the second part of the song. And I think it was an upbeat song that was like different. It was like caught up in between the sound of the last album and the new one. So I thought it's perfect for a single. And then again, it tells a funny story. And then again, it has an edgy part that people will say, "Did he really say that?"
But you know what? At least you now have had interviews where you can say you were attracted to her sister, so that's why you broke it off, but you didn't date the sister. So I mean, it makes it
No,
okay,
no, I didn't
right?
date the sister. I
Yeah.
still wanted to do it. I won't lie.
But at least you were a gentleman and you didn't. So
No,
yeah,
I
and
didn't.
Prince would have left that in there. Prince was all about I'm saying what I want to say and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. And I liked it the tie-in with Prince passing away before you went back to the studio, and then when you did go back in because of his passing, you decided no, I'm leaving it because he would, and he would have. I mean, I still my God, I miss that man. I can't believe he's no longer here. But anyways, okay, so that's the that's the premise behind the song, and now we got to discuss that you didn't go out with the sister. Now I'm going to ask what everybody's waiting to hear. Well, at least all the females. Are you guys together? Did you get back together with her?
No, I did not. She
Aww.
stopped talking to me just as she did, but it was a good thing in the end because I got to write another of the songs from the album that's called Chapter Two, which talks about her leaving again.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're single right now, Ian?
Yes.
Ladies, just saying. Okay. Now let's talk about. Okay, so first I'm gonna talk about it. First, I'll mention this. Okay, so if you didn't go into music, you would have liked to have been an FBI investigator.
Yes, yes, I just love all the crime shows. I don't know, I'm very into that.
Wow. You know what? I would love to have been. You watch like all of this like CSI and all that stuff, and you would be awesome to do all that stuff. Except I couldn't handle the gore, so I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it at all. But I'm
Yeah,
glad.
that's the part that I haven't thought of, but
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't do it. But I'm glad
all
that
the
you
blood.
stuck with music because I like Ian, I think you're just amazing. Now, let's talk about the two songs we're going to hear. Well, first, wait, hang on. See, I'm getting way ahead of myself because I'm so excited about these songs. First off, if you had any advice to tell any artist that was just starting out or already out there, what do you think you would tell them, Ian, especially since the last time we talked?
Um, my perspective has changed since that time, and it changed on what we was talking about people looking for a major label
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to be signed, and in my case, not like really looking for that at this time. I'm like looking into like setting up my own label. Like I think that would be a better option for me, and trying to get the label signed as part of like a a smaller part of a bigger like enterprise. And what I would tell them is like, yes, if they want to stay independent, they should stay independent. But I would recommend that they go and search for an experienced producer, because that's what I wanted to say a few minutes ago. Like uh, we get the and I we get confused in the part that people want to be independent, but they want to self-produce themselves. And I don't think we as artists, and as upcoming artists, as developing artists, have um, that knowledge of 100 albums being done. We haven't done 100 albums, and you need to bring in an experienced producer. At least in my experience, it's been very, very helpful to work with someone that has done so many albums in the past, because they give you a broader perspective. So that would be my one advice. Yes, stay independent. Yes, push your music on your own. Yes, look for your own funding. Stay with keep creative control, but look for a experienced producer who can put their hands on your work, and that you'll let them. Because what I'm seeing now is that many of the independent artists that I hear, their only flaw is that their sound could they sound good, but they could sound so much better, and it's because they don't have the experience of those past sounds and what works arrangement wise. They don't have that, so they need someone to come in and say, "Hey, I've done 100 albums. I think your song can go this way," and you need to trust that. Maybe a few years from now, like when they're solid and consolidated in the business, they'll be able to self-produce. But even like main artists, we was talking about Justin Timberlake. Have you heard his last album,
Mm-hmm.
the Man in the Woods album?
Yes.
I think it's musically great, but I think the songs are a mess. You know, because she wanted to have all these different sounds, like mixed R&B with country, and
Yeah.
then there's Chris Stapleton for some reason there, and then there's Timbaland, and there's a Prince sound, and then there's like so many things going on. And I think that even though this is like another example, even though he used all of these um, main top producers, he just was the head of the project, and I can hear that he was the head of the project, throwing all the things that they brought in terms of growing the song to where it needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
and he made all the final decisions. And I think that that shows that he should, like, what's the best album in history? Not to me, but like audience wise, Thriller, and that was a two-man job. Like that was Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones
Yeah.
working by themselves, and Michael Jackson letting himself be guided by what Quincy Jones said.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's very important for independent artists to understand. We are songwriters, we are singers, we are instrument players. You're very talented, but you're not your own producer, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't be. Even if you are, you should bring in someone whose advice you'll listen. And
Exactly.
Prince said that we've been like centering around Prince in this conversation. So I'll cite him when he says, "Great things are done when you leave the ego at the door." And I think that one thing that's come with like how to say, like the loss of importance of labels is that artists are handling themselves, and they're coming into the studio with this big ego that they got their hands on their project, and that they're funding it, so they know what's best for it. And yes, they know what's best for it, but two minds think better than one. And I
Yeah.
think that they shouldn't leave out that fact that once you bring in someone experienced, it's gonna sound so much better. Like bring someone good in, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's not, they're just gonna
Yeah. It's
ruin
just
your sound. But
exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought up Justin Timberlake's new album because I don't like it at all. And
Yeah.
I'm just so people don't know this, but I'm related to he's my cousin.
Really?
Way down the line. Yeah, my stepdad's into
Sorry, Justin.
yeah, sorry, Justin. My stepdad's into all this genealogy, and on my mom's side, he's a cousin from like way down the line. He doesn't even know because I don't think I'd be able to like phone him up and say, "Hey, cuz." Anyway, but but I'm not a fan of his newest album. And when I heard that he was going to try to do country, I was like, "What?" Justin Timberlake has Justin Timberlake sound. So Justin Timberlake
Yeah.
should do what always works for Justin Timberlake. And you're right. He should have had, you know, a couple people involved in that he was listening to instead of just making the final decisions. I'm glad you touched on that because I think there's a lot of artists that go in there and think, okay, I know this sounds good. I like it, so everybody else is going to like it. But they're just listening to themselves. They're not listening to anybody else. And they're going to release it and maybe they like it. And there's going to be maybe a couple of their fans that really like it, but other people are going to be going like, what? Because, like, yeah, you said, like, Chris Stapleton's in there and then Timbaland, and it's like, what is going on? I don't even know what's happening now. Like, you know what? If you're going to make an album, make it kind of all the same. And
like, it's not halfway through the album that you figure that out, but it's halfway through a song because they're so long.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 6-minute song that has all these elements, so it's so different when it started. Like at 30 seconds and at 3:30, it's a completely different song.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, it's truly like,
well, and I mean,
like what I think they should do is, well, at least what I'm doing is that they should try to focus on what they want to sound like on their own sound. And yes, you're allowed to go to evolve, to, how do you say, evolve? Yeah, I don't, like, to they're allowed to evolve and do different things and try different sounds, and their sound doesn't necessarily need to stick to the music that they've been doing forever. But it needs to stick. It needs to. Sorry, it needs to stick to their style.
Yeah.
And I think it gets a little lost in that process.
It does.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So they should try. They should try to stick to their style and go everywhere they want with the song. But you said something that's very important. They should listen to more music, and not just in their genre, not just in their field, but in all other genres, all other fields. Like if you're doing country, just go and listen to a little hip hop and see what they're doing too. Like, have like an eclectic view of music.
Exactly.
That's why the project that I'm doing right now, I like it so much. I got with a company that's called Soundplate, and what they do is they push playlists, Spotify playlists. And I did a playlist and they liked it, and so now it's in their website and they're promoting it. And the playlist has this twist where independent artists or signed artists, it doesn't matter, they can go and submit their music, and I get to curate the playlist and say who's in and who's out, which I like.
Nice. I want to do that. Hook me up. I want that job.
Yeah, I think like everybody can do it, and what's been for this experience is that I've heard so much music, like so much good independent music, and I was doing a video blog the other day, and I was telling people that we've been knowing this for a long time, but I just wanted to say it again, that mainstream radio just doesn't give you the best music.
Yeah.
And I've been learning that, like, the quality of the songs are incredible. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I can see that these people that are sending in their independent music are letting somebody just help them take their songs to bigger grounds.
Exactly.
And so they're combining all those elements that I said, that they're letting somebody else come in and print their experience on their album, but they're still doing their own thing, and they're still sounding greater than the mainstream artists. And then I turn on the radio, like the top 40 radio, and I hear a song that I'm like, what, really?
Yeah.
And so in a sense, it's made me pickier than I was before, because like if I was picky at parties before, now that I hear all this great music coming into my email all the time, I go to parties and it's like very hard for me to hear. Can I say bad words?
Yes, you can.
Like shitty music.
Like shitty music, exactly.
And people singing onto them and saying, "Oh, whoa, this is such a great song," and I'm like, "No, this is trash."
Yeah.
And you're just being fed that song all the time on the radio. That's why you think you like it, but that's repetition effect. It's not that you really, really like it. That's why you forget it after some time. And these are really, really good songs that have missed mainstream radio. So I think that with that project of the playlist, we're giving independent music a chance, and we're broadening. We're giving artists a chance, and we're broadening the audience's taste, and I think that's a great thing. So
Yeah.
they should look. That's another advice. They should look for those opportunities. Don't buy plays like those bots that sell you like, yeah, have 5,000 SoundCloud plays or whatever. Don't waste your money on that. Instead, invest, not waste. Invest your time on going searching for like playlist opportunities and radio opportunities like this one, like on the Ali Attic show, which I love. And you know, real stuff. It's gonna take harder work. It's gonna take longer, but the results will be real.
Will be real. And you know what? I'm so glad we talked about this. I not only was I a radio announcer, I also taught it. So
Whoa.
not only do I have a hard time listening to the shitty songs, I have a hard time listening to shitty announcers. So I do not listen to the radio. I do not. That's not okay. That's not exactly true. If I'm in a vehicle and it doesn't have where I can set my phone up, I do listen, and I try to make sure I go onto the top 40 on Spotify and just kind of catch up on like what's new and maybe what I like and what I don't like. I can tell you right now, the best song that I like out of all the new songs recently is Harry Styles' "Sign of the Times." And I absolutely, absolutely love it. And the reason I love it is because it's timeless and it talks about, I mean, we're always dodging bullets. So I think that was a perfect song to talk about it, like where producers are involved and other people. Because I mean, he hid himself away for 4 months writing that song, but he also had people with him because it was his first solo thing and he wanted to make sure it sounded good. And he, it's all him, but he also had influences helping him and, deciding maybe, no, don't do that hook, don't do this hook, and you can tell. And I don't know if anybody else loves the song, but it's just the words and the way they produce them, I guess is what I'm saying. Because it reminded me of David Bowie. Like, just the way that it sounds and the words. And I think that more people should do that. Lock yourself away, but make sure you lock yourself away with people around you that are going to give you advice that you're going to listen to.
Yeah, in the right room.
Exactly, in the same room. I'm glad we talked about that because nobody's ever talked about that on my show. So obviously you can tell we're both passionate about it because I'm still going on about it.
Yes.
But anyways, yes, I think what you're saying is a great idea. And look for things where I've had so many people, when I ask them to come on my show, they ask me if I charge. And I'm like, what? Do I what? Well, do you charge us for an interview? I'm like, why would I charge you for an interview? You coming on my show is payment for me. You know what I mean? Like it helps my show and I like your music. So it's a bonus for me. Why would I couldn't believe it when I found out that people charge people to go on their show for interviews.
Yeah.
Blew me away. Blew me
Everywhere.
away. Like look for people that are passionate about what you're doing. That's who
Exactly.
you should be going to, not these people that are just trying to make a buck. Anyways,
Exactly.
okay, I'm going to stop because I'm going to just keep going. Okay, let's talk about your songs. Now that we've gone on, and I love Justin Timberlake, by the way, just don't like his new album. All right, okay. So your
I heard
songs.
he's on the studio now, in the studio now, so.
Oh, good.
Let's hope.
Let's hope he listens to people this time. Anyways, let's talk about your two songs, Ian.
Yep.
What are we going to hear?
We're gonna hear A Different Affair, which is a song that you was reading the review a few minutes ago with the plucky guitars and the 70s style violin.
Yes.
I think that's a great. That was a great song to put out. I always imagined it was actually the third song from the album that I recorded, and I think I always thought that after Free Time, this should be the song that came out because I think that the album has two sides to it. It doesn't literally have two sides to it, and it's not like
not back in the day.
It's not messy like The Man of the Woods. Sorry, Justin, but it's a good reference.
Poor Justin. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he should go like Can't Stop the Feeling. But he should go that way. And just stop experimenting for a while. We know you have this big record.
Oh my god. Okay. Justin's taking a beating this interview. Okay,
we
so
need to hear like coherent songs, not like all the money.
Exactly. Well, when I heard A Different Affair, I don't know what movie, and it's probably going to bug me for like days, but the beginning of that song, it reminded me of like, I don't know if it's a 70s song I've heard or a 70s movie, but the way that song starts, that's totally where it took me. I was like, where is it? Is that from a movie? Or where has it? It sounds like it blew me away. It was like, oh my God, I'm back in the 70s. And I
That's
love
similar.
it. I absolutely love it. And then it just soars from there. But yeah, the
Yeah.
beginning of it, I was seriously like, I thought, oh my God, this sounds like a song I've heard. And I can't place which song. So anyway, if somebody can figure it out, let me know.
Yeah. No, right us on Twitter. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
on
think it sounds like
Instagram.
a little Barry White-esque because of the
Man,
chorus.
yeah. You know what?
And
Yeah. Okay, now I'm like, yeah, you know what? It does. It's got that what is the genre of the music?
um,
Oh,
like disco
disco
funk
funk
soul
kind
sort of.
of soul.
It's
What were
like
the like heard it through the grapevine and what is the name of that genre? Oh my God, I'm having a great day. Never mind. Everybody's gonna know what I'm talking about. They're all gonna be yelling
like
at the
platforms
computer.
just make you
Yeah.
tag it like R&B soul. So it's
Yeah.
more than that,
Yeah.
but
And I can't
it's just
remember.
like difficult to say because it has many fusions of many things,
It
like
does.
modern elements and then contemporary elements,
Yeah,
and
it
then
does. It takes it
classic elements too.
takes you on a journey, and I'm gonna remember the name. It wasn't doo wop. It was when
Oh,
they called and I'm not saying a lot of like Barry White and um who sang I heard it through the grapevine. Why can't I think of that for the life of me? It's that, oh God, I'm not gonna think of it. Anyways, okay, and we're gonna also hear where I'm just gonna forget about it and just carry on. We're also gonna be hearing Free Time.
yeah, which is the past single, and I think Free Time. This is cool because Free Time was like more into contemporary, like stuck into contemporary R&B, and it had like a jazz feel to it, like just like Cry.
Mm-hmm.
They both have like this jazzy, soulish, contemporary R&B kind of traditional feel. Let's put it that way, traditional. And I like that they sounded like that, and that's why Different Affair was very important to follow because the album has another side to it, which is like the poppier, more avant-garde sound,
Mm-hmm.
and I think A Different Affair is cut up in between of those. It's like it sounds like what we were saying. It sounds traditional, yet it sounds fresh. So it's like a perfect transition between the traditional side of the album and the modern part of the album. So that's why it was. And I don't think A Different Affair could have been without Free Time because when we had like Free Time with all these like I don't like this word, but organic guitars and all these organic piano runs. The sentiment was like, yeah, I love it, but now I need something with some chords and with some strings, not chords, strings on it, and I got to doing A Different Affair because of that. So Free Time was a number one single on the Beat 100, yes, and won it won a few awards. I think that when I wrote Free Time, it's for the Free Time is a good example of what we was talking about with Roll the Dice. With this girl that disappeared for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
Because I wrote that song when I was actually with her 3 years prior.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, well, she's involved in my album a lot. Like I owe her a lot of money that I won't ever pay her.
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing I've heard. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. It's a very, you know who it reminds me of? Um, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I can't even think of his name. I'm Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé.
Oh well, that's an honor because I think that my voice is like cool, but for like a couple of songs, and his voice you can hear it all night and never get tired. Like after 5 songs, you're like, okay, he's screaming. Turn that off. And Michael Bublé, you can hear all the time. So
Yeah,
I know that was like bad pressing myself,
no,
but
like that's exactly like who it reminded me of was when I heard it. It was like, oh my god! And I love the song. Out of all of the songs, I mean, I love A Different Affair, and I like the beginning of it especially because it takes me back to the '70s, and I'm a '70s like fan. And then I cannot wait till Roll the Dice comes out because it's awesome. But Free Time, it had me moving. It had like I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm so glad that but it's still you. I mean, it's still you, Ian. I mean, you can tell that it's you. It's not like anybody else. Okay, so I can't find. I actually started trying to find this music genre that I'm trying to talk about. Marvin Gaye, the bell tones, like all of those. They called it something, and I can't remember. I've got people yelling at their computers and phones while they're listening to this interview right now, telling me what it is. Anyways, okay, so. What can we expect from you? I know Roll the Dice is coming up, right?
Yes.
So what can we expect from you even further in the future? What are your plans? What are you doing?
Well, I got Roll the Dice coming out, and then I did a Spanish spoken song, like with another few artists, like sort of a We Are the World kind of thing um like how do you say, like humanitarian thing.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
yeah, we got that, but that's not a song that I wrote. That's coming out, and um, sorry,
It's okay.
we got that, and when we got I did a feature film theme song that was in Spanish too, and I'd like to do more of that. I'd like to look into that more. Like I'd like to do more feature film theme songs for movies. Maybe this time, because the one that I did in March, I didn't write that, so I'd like to write music for movies, like not music but the theme songs. And I'd love to do, you know what I'd really love to do in the future, like I'll put the album out, let people get into it, because I'm sure they'll relate. Like it's like common life there, but I think they will. We've all been through that struggle. Actually, I'm doing like a T-shirt line right now with the best lines from the album, like to help push it. Not because of the T-shirts, but because of the lines. Because I want people to really look into the words. So I thought of doing a T-shirt line so that they can see the words very clearly and just choose the ones that they like and just have it, in a T-shirt. So we're doing that with lines from the Irreplaceable song that says "I'm no God to forgive." We got that T-shirt going out. We got a line from A Different Affair, like we're an app we need no, we're a match we need no app. So we're doing that line. I'd like to do more theme songs. I'd like the people to really listen to the words of the songs that are coming out. We were trying to do more lyric videos, but we're looking into that because we're trying to promote it in a different way, like with push videos, and let people know what, instead of just the words, what is the foundation of what was behind that, like feeling wise, so that they can relate to that. And what I'd really love to do, like, but this is like really in the long run, after the album is hopefully successful, and I'm sure they'll like the model of the Roll the Dice video. I think she's going to
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, guys. Anyway.
And what I'd like to really like do in the long run would be like animated movies, like, but not like do them, like play a part in an animated movie, play a character and have to do the voice.
Oh, okay.
Because I like to do like all sort of weird voices. So like having like a minion and have like talk weird and just play a part in that. It's always been a lifelong dream.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd love to do something like that, or voiceovers, especially if you can do voices. I can't do voices.
Yeah, and I tell my sister this, and she says like, "You stutter a lot. You're not going to be able to do it." I'm like, "No, but if I read the words, I can read them."
Yeah,
I can read them fluently.
I don't hear you stuttering.
I stutter because I got so many ideas coming in.
It's not stuttering. It's just your brain works faster than your mouth. Mine does the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and I found the genre I was trying to talk about when I was talking about A Different Affair. Motown. That's what it reminds me.
Oh,
Motown. There we go. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah,
Everybody can
yeah.
stop yelling at their phones and iPads and computers. I figured it out.
Exactly. You said it right. Thank God that you found the word because the album is very Motown.
Oh my God, that is too funny. Okay, well now we both of us could not figure out that word. Oh my God. But yeah, and I'm encouraging everybody to go and purchase these songs. You can find Ian's songs on Spotify. You can find him on Vivo. On social media, especially Instagram, I am Ian Guerin. Now, his website is IamIanGuerin.com. That's going to be up on my website. People can click on it and just go and check out more of Ian's music and videos. And Ian, I can see you getting up there with Justin Timberlake. I'm just saying, you are so talented. I love your voice. I love the way you arrange your music, and I'm glad that you listen to other people. Since
I
we went through
love
all of
listening
that.
to other people. So if there's independent artists listening right now, go to soundplate.com, look for the Different Affair playlist, and just send me your music. I want to hear you.
Okay, there you go. And yeah, do that because it's free, guys. Right?
Yes,
Is it
completely,
free? Yeah,
completely.
it's completely
Yeah,
free. And I'm glad that you're doing that for other artists because I mean, you're not only, promoting yourself, you're helping promote other artists. And you
it's
were
a way
right.
for us to help each other out.
Exactly. And that's what it should be
Because
about.
I promote them, and when they promote the playlist, my song is in the playlist too. So
So yeah.
we're all promoting each other to our audiences, and we're doing a double effect because we're getting more exposure than the regular, like just being individuals. We get some level of exposure, which is now we're doing, going to different audiences. Like suggested by the people in the playlist, be me or somebody else,
Mhm.
and we're also broadening our listeners' ears, which is also that very good. As we said, mainstream radio doesn't give you the best music, guys. To broaden
Exactly. Yeah.
up.
Okay, well, Ian, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could talk, like, seriously, I love talking to you. I love what you're
I love
doing.
talking to you too.
Yeah, yeah, I love your music. I love your music. Like, I'm serious. I'm going to find this list. What is it called on Spotify?
A different affair, just like the new song.
Okay, A Different Affair. I'm going to find that. I have.
Actually, if people want to find it, like to submit the music, they have to go to soundplate.com and submit on the A Different Affair playlist. But if they just want to listen to it, they can just go to my profile on Spotify, which is Ian Guerin. You'll see the blue verification tick, and the artist pick. That's the playlist that I got there.
Okay. I'm going to definitely go and look because I have a music list called A Great Mix of Music. How original is that? And I have close to 1,000 songs on there, so I might be adding some more. I'm just saying. Okay, so anyways, thank you again. Don't be a stranger. When your new song comes out, please send it to me so I can put it up on my website and help promote it. And I wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you so much. I'll be sure to send you the song. Thank you for giving me the space to express myself the way I am. You're like the coolest person in the world, and I
Oh my
always
God.
feel very, very like the most comfortable of all interviews in the world when I come with you and when we get to talk about all these different things that I don't usually get to talk to people about because they don't want to talk about it, and you do. So I love it. I just love it, and it's a true honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, Ian. Thank you. I'm just well, thank you for joining me on Ellie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Everyone have a great day. Cheers.